want to express that this whole like Kundalini cold stuff, and because I want to validate it. Like, yeah, people have turned these teachings right around, and that is to say that, like, I'm not here to say you have to do Kundalini yoga, but I am here to explain how the Earth's energy interacts with our being, and in a way that rises, but so too the way that the downward force of energy that keeps our bodies here, and the upward, like, we're in between those two spaces. And so, yeah, that's what I was thinking about, and the ways in which ultimately the journey is alchemy. It's this journey of inner transformation, and with the inner fire and the will to be disciplined in a practice. And I found that nothing that I've ever tried has worked this fast. And I've tried a lot of things, and they're all beautiful things and wonderful systems and energetic, absolutely, but nothing has had such a charge. And it is because these practices are old, and so many beings have sat down and charged this practice up, and it is a quantum reality that we're in. So when you're sitting there doing a breath of fire, and it will just connect you to something that's bigger than you, because the reason that these practices started was to give the future help, like, it's in a, and make balance possible, and like inner union. And I really feel like people are messing up so much. I shouldn't say that. Wow, everyone is doing absolutely great and their best, but one way I see that the teachings have been misunderstood is to make it about just the practice, though. Because if we're just following the rules, then it's not bringing it into the now. And we honor the practices, and we do our absolute best to like follow the teachings as accurately as possible. But like, ultimately, your guide, your guru means light, it means start to light. And so everything should be pointing you back to your own inner compass. And so when we get these like guruships that are culty, like, you know, that's sort of what we did with this Yahweh character too, like, honestly. So like, who's pointing fingers? Because when anyone gives their power away, it's, you know, so often it is just, it's a trauma response, not knowing what to do with your own power, and conditioning, and all the things that make us, you know, follow the leader. But like follow the leader, but ultimately you're your leader. And so, and we have teachers, and sometimes our teachers are only for 2 seconds, and sometimes our teachers are for life. And like, so if we just, you know, attachment is the root of all suffering for a reason. Because in anything that we're doing, if we're just putting our identity and our value in a possession or a role or a relationship, things like that are, you know, of the earth, these are all tools for our evolution. And so the mindset has to be on alchemy. And to say too, like, you know, there's so much about needing validation from, it feels like success is supposed to be when you have all of the setups and the situations, and it's not. Success is when you're just absolutely okay with exactly where you're at every single moment. And the weird thing is, like, that's the superpower to acceleration. And so these practices, the tantric practices, are teaching us how to be right where we're at always, and that's the path to acceleration. So it is about you. It is about your inner journey, but you are sitting on this beautiful tapestry of cosmic music playing with you right in the between. And in the in-between. And that is because that's all we're supposed to do. All we're supposed to do is just be grateful, because gratitude is what puts you just in surrender and at ease. And then miracles can come, because what's actually true and innate, what actually is the design of this place. This is the Garden of Eden, okay? So the design is that we have help, and miracles is how the divine communicates with us. So truly, to make your life better, it's actually just about opening. It's about opening the heart. It's about sharing in goodness, and it's about nothing. It's non-attachment. And so moving forward and doing my best, there's always grace when you're just trying your best, if your intention is great, and that's a two-way street. So, everyone just do your best, and then that is your guide. And the more we do these practices, that ability to sense the guide gets stronger, because the guide is actually the body. But where we're at, most of us are at right now, is in the mind. But this is your actual system that can make decisions for you, because it's the trauma that keeps us from rest, and when we rest we can feel, right? And then the highways where our body is open to energy. And what is an energy? To have creativity. The creativity is an endless thing. Once it's filling you, it's an unlimited resource. But if we can't grasp that, like resources can be unlimited, then that's an exact correlation to our ability to be in the body. And when we're in the body has a compass, and the yogis wrote the map so we can understand it in a time when they didn't have so many distractions, and they were really super intentional about figuring out how this thing worked, because this meat suit is a miracle. And so let's just get that out of the way. And so how can we be walking miracles? Because it's miraculous that we have electricity making us do things right now. And so if we can feel how that electricity works in our being, and we can use the mind, our best friend here, because it will know the structures, because it knows the practices, and just understanding the chakra system in the mind. When you're feeling things, you'll understand what it's coming from, because the mind can have the picture, and so it doesn't feel scary. Because unfortunately it's not, by design, but like most of us don't want to come down into the body, because there's been many reasons that we've had to leave. So just give yourself grace that there was a reason that we're also we're not slow enough. We're not, I don't want to speak that into existence. Everything's perfect. And it's helpful to go beyond constantly. Because the mind doesn't know what's imagination, what's thought, and what's happening. And it's working off of vibration. So the more we clear our channel, we can catch ourselves when those thoughts start to leave, and they're coming out, and there's an overlay of a trauma, and so it has a fear to it, and this thought goes out into this quantum universe, or we have this tantric system and we just blast it with the Satnam, and it's like, boo! And then we come back to center, and we come back to positivity and negativity. We come into balance. We come into homeostasis. Neutral is best, because believe it or not, and trust me, I didn't think it was possible for somebody that clearly has a very active mind to have nothing in this space here, and to have so much here. And this is a simpler place to sense from. And if you can imagine, if this is where truth is coming, this is the center where heaven and earth meet in your body, the animal and the angel, the earth and the heavens. Okay, so this is one of our best brains. When the mind is clear and this is full, then through the tube of all of you, it's crystal clear, because it's usually quiet and simple until and sometimes it comes like a rapid too, like, and I trust me, I love the crown, like, I'm like, give me those good ideas, but there's just, when we come back to stillness and to neutral, like where we should rest from in the body and just redirect to when we need guidance, is here in this space. And it's these are tricky topics because I'm talking about something that you have to experience. It's an unseen world. But I know it resonates, and I'm so grateful for those who are resonating and saying that they're resonating, because it makes me feel more empowered to talk about it, because this is my big fear, is like these are unknown things that I'm talking about, and they're unknown to me, but I'm doing my absolute best to always speak from experience, even if it sounds like woo. My shirt literally says woo woo. That's funny. And yeah, okay, so like whatever. That's a label, sure, but like it's a technology that I'm talking about. It's a rhythmic ritual of making your day something where you're connected to how you really do work. And how we work is mind, body, soul. And there's the gateway, and the body's in the middle. So we got to connect, and the best connection is the breath, because that's the first thing we all did, and it's the last thing that we're going to do. And it's the thing that every single human and every single creature, even the plants, is doing. The breath is God. Like the breath is prana. Prana is life force energy. That's the heaven energy. And then we have the Kundalini, which is the mother's energy. And we can breathe it in the prana, the space, the all. And then we can feel the life that is the Kundalini energy. And that's what dances us and moves us. And we can have such a fine tuning of our instrument that our sensing ability greatly opens. Everything that you think is cool, that is technology, is ultimately modeled after human technology. Computers are nothing on our brains. So can we change our focus to this temple and all of its amazingness? And yes, the answer is yes, we can. So thank you for being on this ride with me. There's just no greater thing that I'd rather just